I'm John Lesky, recently retired personal financial planner and founder of finhealth, a tool to guide you to your financial independence. In this video, I want to use the finhealth personal finance software to examine the issue of housing affordability for young adults and its implications for the achievement of financial independence. The focus will be on Sydney couples in their 30s who wish to buy their first home and either have or wish to have children. Of course, the software has much broader application than the scenario examined here. In response to your request, future videos could explore other typical scenarios. Now, my very direct experience, having 3 daughters each in their 30s, is that both for many young adults and often their parents, getting into the expensive Sydney housing market is seen as mission accomplished, almost regardless of the price paid and the borrowings required. At the time of purchase, most don't look beyond to understand what it means for their future lifestyle and what has to happen for them not only to repay their mortgage, but also to accumulate sufficient investment wealth to eventually become financially independent. While for some, their circumstances may change considerably for the better to enable a mortgage that is, for example, a high 4 times household income at the time of purchase to be quickly repaid and investment wealth accumulated. But many, without some realistic assessment of their future, will be surprised to find themselves still in debt as they approach their desired retirement date, with only their compulsory superannuation to support them. This may not be anywhere near enough to provide for the lifestyle they want and to which they have become accustomed. Unpleasant choices may need to be made. For example, work longer, reduce lifestyle expectations, and/or sell lifestyle assets. So, in the rest of this video, we'll have a look at how the finhealth personal finance software can assist a fictional young adult Sydney teacher couple, Jack and Jennifer Smith, to assess the potential implications for financial independence of a proposed Sydney house purchase. To get the most out of the discussion which follows, it will help if you understand the finhealth approach. It is explained in our What is finhealth video series and in our free downloadable ebook, What is finhealth. Now, the maximum the Smiths can finance for their first home is about equal to the Sydney median house price, as at 30 June 2021, of about 1.225 million. My source for the median price is CoreLogic, a property data and research organisation. To understand where they would be able to buy in Sydney, it is essentially suburbs outside those areas shaded red and orange in the picture on the screen. The source for this graphic is an organisation called Heat Maps. Now let's run through how the Smiths have completed the software's input screen. Jack is aged 35 at his next birthday, and Jennifer is 32. They both wish to retire from teaching at Jack's age 65, which will be Jennifer's age 62. They wish to project the finhealth indicators out 55 years to Jack's age 90. At the moment, they are renting, with their only lifestyle assets being 2 cars worth a total of $60,000 and some furniture and other possessions. Investment assets total $550,000, of which $200,000 is held as superannuation. This implies $350,000 is held outside super in the form of a bank deposit. These funds are earmarked to pay the home deposit, stamp duty, and allow about $50,000 for expected initial maintenance and modest improvements to their new home. They assess their attitude to investment risk as moderate and have chosen a target asset growth allocation at retirement of 60%. In regard to expected incomes, they wish to assume top-level classroom teachers' salaries to retirement. Current gross salaries, including superannuation, are $125,000 a year, which they assume will grow at 1% above inflation. They would like to have 2 children, with the first ideally in 2 years. They want Jennifer to be at home for much of the children's preschool and primary school years, so allow for her to work part-time, or the equivalent of 2 days a week on average, for 10 years from age 34 to age 44. She then resumes full-time teaching at age 44. Current ongoing spending is around $70,000 a year, in addition to rent of $35,000 a year. The ongoing spending includes notional annual allowances of $6,000 for car replacement and $3,000 for home contents maintenance. It is assumed that the family home is purchased at Jack's age 36 in 1 year's time, from which time ongoing spending is projected to increase to $90,000 per annum, growing at 2% per annum for 20 years to Jack's age 56. The increase reflects an increased allowance of $16,000 per annum for home and contents maintenance and other costs of home ownership, and the expected costs associated with raising 2 children. Beyond Jack's age 56 to retirement, ongoing spending is projected to level out at $130,000 per annum, which at a growth rate of 1% above inflation is about $105,000 a year in today's dollars. Desired retirement spending is $90,000 a year in today's dollars, but is assumed to need to grow at 1% per annum to $121,300 a year to take account of general rises in living standards. Finally, an allowance of $1.275 million is made for the purchase of the first home, assuming a purchase price of $1.225 million and initial maintenance improvement costs of $50,000. The modelling assumes this total amount is borrowed, but it is effectively offset by the $350,000 held as a bank deposit. Net borrowings are around 3.7 times gross household income, once considered extremely high, but now quite commonplace. Stamp duty of $52,000 is an additional cost of purchase. The Smiths are looking for a house that they can upgrade down the track. They want to allow $400,000 for renovations at Jack's age 46 or in 11 years' time, when it is expected their children will be mid-primary school age. With their initial mortgage reduced by repayments from surplus cash flow and increases in their home's value, they don't anticipate any problems being able to borrow the $400,000. So let's have a look at the finhealth analysis, initially without allowing for the renovation. So we'll set that to 0. First, let's examine a couple of charts. The gross income chart shows the expected pattern of gross incomes in today's dollars for both Jack and Jennifer. It suggests teachers' salaries of over $160,000 in 30 years' time. The cash flow chart reveals significant ongoing surplus cash flows from now to retirement, with a reduction occurring when Jennifer moves to part-time for 10 years. These cash flows are first directed to reduce any borrowings as quickly as possible. Once debt is repaid, they are used to accumulate non-superannuation investment assets. A recently added chart to the software The net debt to lifestyle assets chart provides an indicator of borrowing capacity, a proxy loan to house valuation ratio. A value less than minus 80% indicates very limited borrowing capacity, while a value of 0 suggests net debt free. It indicates that the Smiths will be net debt free around Jack's age 54. It also suggests that the Smiths are projected to be in a good position to borrow $400,000 for renovations at Jack's age 46. Now let's go to the reports. The Summary Observations report indicates that projected net investment wealth will not be sufficient to finance the $121,306 desired retirement lifestyle. But it's only a little bit short, 9.2% actually. The Key Measures report shows projected shortfalls on the retirement expenditure multiple, projected retirement expenditure multiple, and the projected tax effectiveness ratio, with the latter suggesting an opportunity for increased tax effectiveness rather than a real concern. The gap between the current growth asset allocation ratio and the target growth asset allocation ratio suggests a clear transition strategy needs to be put in place. Finally, Personal Financial Dashboard, projecting the indicators to Jack's age 90, suggests while there are some areas of potential concern, the Smiths are projected to be in pretty reasonable shape by their desired retirement age. So now let's see what happens when we allow for the planned $400,000 house upgrade in 11 years' time. First, the net debt to lifestyle assets chart shows that the Smiths are now not projected to be net debt free until Jack's age 61, giving little time to accumulate wealth in addition to their superannuation before the desired retirement age of 65. The Summary Observations report shows that retirement income, supported by projected net investment wealth at retirement, falls about 29% short of the desired level. The Key Measures report suggests shortfalls for the investment wealth ratio and retirement expenditure multiple, while a tax effectiveness ratio of over 100% is not actually a good thing. It suggests non-super investment assets are negative. That is, they are debt rather than investments. Finally, the Personal Financial Dashboard reveals that financial independence at Jack's age 65 now looks very unrealistic for the Smiths, with net investment wealth declining precipitously beyond the desired retirement age. Sooner or later, some difficult choices may need to be made, particularly if hard-coded investment return assumptions prove to be optimistic. So, for the Smiths, purchase of a Sydney home with the intention of making it more comfortable down the track may be anything but mission accomplished. With a more detailed analysis of what implementation of their housing plans imply for their desired retirement, they could be in for serious disappointment at a time in their life when they have less options to make changes. However, the finhealth software gives them the opportunity to take a look at their financial life in 30 years' time and beyond. If they don't like what they see, they can play with the inputs to better understand the magnitude of the changes they may need to make to increase the chances that today's housing decisions don't unexpectedly compromise the rest of their lives. In our view, housing affordability isn't just about being able to repay a massive mortgage. It's about whether you can both repay your borrowings and accumulate sufficient investment wealth to finance a desired lifestyle when you're no longer working. I'd like to know what you think. Please provide any comments or questions below. And finally, Thanks for watching.